Hey guys, what's up? It's been about a week since the show now, and I wanted to do a debrief of that and kind of talk about how it went. Um, so I finally got back the pictures from the show and the video. I was a bit disappointed that they didn't get the prejudging on video, and some of the pictures, the photographer was kind of dead center. So when everyone would go on stage, they were pretty much head on to the photographer, pretty much at the level of the photographer, maybe a little above. So the photographer was shooting a bit from below. That doesn't always make for the best pictures because if the lights are from above and you're shooting from below, you're not always going to necessarily bring out the lines and the separation and whatnot. So typically, what's I've seen has worked the best is if the photographer is slightly above and slightly to one side, and then you can kind of get the best pictures. But the pictures I got were definitely not bad. So it's really not the end of the world. But really, that's the only complaint I had with the show, and that's one of the things that I wanted to get into. So when I made my initial video about me doing me doing the NPC, an NPC show as a natural competitor, I was coming in from having competed in different natural organizations and with having heard all the things, all the whispers from backstage at those types of shows. And there's a bit of a buzz at some of the natural events about the NPC. So you'll get a lot of, I'd say, disparaging, derogatory comments. Not from everyone, of course, but you will get that stuff like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna go on the NPC. Yeah, you're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. Yeah, they're arrogant. You go backstage at the NPC. No one's supportive. No one's nice. It's all just uh, just about all this like fake. It's all about being fake or so, stuff like that. Basically, the gist of it is that in the natural world, that's real bodybuilding at its purest, and anything other than that, like NPC, is just it's fake. It's cold. It's callous. It's artificial. And a bunch of other things. So again, not everybody in the natural world has this at all. I'd say that that's probably a minority opinion in the natural bodybuilding community when you're backstage and hearing all the different comments from people, but it is there. And typically, the people that are saying those things, they have a very strong personality associated with it, and a very strong opinions, I should say. So it kind of sticks in your head a lot. So that's definitely something that I encountered, and I think that type of description of the NPC will keep people away. It definitely had me apprehensive going into it, going into an untested event. I mean, going into an untested event in of itself is very intimidating as a natural athlete. But when you add on to that the layer of, oh yeah, they're really not cool, they're mean, they're unfriendly, they're this, they're that, that's another layer of apprehension where you're like, man, do I really want to go and compete? Do I want to associate myself with these people? So that was in the back of my mind going into the show. And so it was last Saturday, exactly a week from where we are today. Today we're Saturday, the 12th of April. So that was the 5th of April. So we ended up driving down the Friday night before the show, which is the first time that I've done that. Most of the time, the shows I've done to date have been local enough where I could just drive to the pre-competitor meeting to check in and then go home. And I probably could have done it here. It was 2 hours away, but that's a lot to do, especially on peak week when you're depleted, when you're trying to peak. And so I ended up going down there with my wife Friday night before the show, and I did the competition spray tan this time around. So here you can see a picture of before and after. Here I am with Mel Chansey, the promoter, before I got the spray tan, and this is me with the spray tan afterwards. And I've done that once before, the competition spray tan. I didn't remember it being as cold as it was, so that was interesting. And I also did not expect them to put like a gloss or glazed finish on the on top of the tan right before you go on stage. I was really happy about that because normally what I would do is I would use the pro tanning stuff. I would get tanned, and then I would use the tanning oil to get a little shine on the muscles, and then you go out on the stage. But when I did the show tan at the event the last time, they didn't do any gloss or anything, so you just went out dry. This time they did a gloss, and I think it looked really, really good. So, yeah, we got there and I walked in, I saw these huge people. That was the first thing that kind of threw me aback. And I went into it expecting that. And I'm happy I did because had I not, it would have been really really freaky. So as we pulled up there, I was telling my wife, we're getting to the hotel. It's the official hotel of the event. Um, there are going to be some really, really big guys. This is going to be my first glimpse of what I'm going to be up against. And yeah, sure enough, you see people with arms that are this big walking around. So I saw all those things that was expected, and I was braced for that. Um, what I was not braced for, and this goes back to what I was saying about some of the whispers that you would hear backstage at some of the other shows that I've done. I was not braced for how supportive, how nice, how kind everyone was. I had heard so much of the that I was expecting something different. So I would say that the people were as kind and supportive at that event as they were at any other event I've been to, if not more. And there was no distinction whatsoever. Like you could have a guy whose arms were this big, and he looked like he could be on the Olympia stage, and he was just as nice as anybody. So I think that the biggest takeaway for me from this experience with the NPC is that you don't you don't judge a book by its cover, I guess. Some people, they look at all the giant muscles and they think, oh wow, that's an enhanced physique. So this character is probably, he, he's probably not that nice. He's probably overly aggressive or whatever. And it wasn't the case at all. It wasn't the case at all. Everyone was really, really nice. And I think in the previous video I did, I explained my thoughts on that. How if someone wants to use something to enhance their physique, it's not like a sport like boxing where you could potentially hurt or kill your opponent. The only people really getting hurt when they're using stuff to enhance their physique is the athlete themselves. And well, I don't think that's a good idea to do. Um, I'm not a lawmaker or anything like that, so as I see it, it's their business to do that. It's not even like smoking. If someone wants to smoke and do that to their body, it's legal. But when you smoke a cigarette or whatever you're smoking, people around you smell that. So this isn't even like that. If they want to take some gear to enhance their look, no one has to deal with that smell or the side effects of it but them. So yeah, there was that. I was very, very happy that everyone was super supportive and nice. I got to meet the promoter of the event, Mel Chansey, who was a former Hell's Angel who went to prison and came out and really, really turned his life around. So that was one of the themes of his show, John 3:16. He's a devout Christian. He gave these T-shirts out, and I wanted to make sure I wore it. Very, very cool. This was the medal that they gave out right here. It's got two nice crosses on the side, 316 there. And it's just one of the nicest medals I think that I ever got there. And right there, NPC, right on right on it. I never thought that I would compete in an NPC event, and I can honestly say that I'm very, very happy I did. I probably had more fun at this show than any other, simply because I had nothing to lose. Like if I was going to a natural event, and I said this after the last show I did, for me, kind of, I got into the bodybuilding world coming back from an injury because I felt like I was physically crippled and I just couldn't couldn't compete in the world anymore. I felt, like an outcast. So that's what got me into bodybuilding. And when I would go to a national event, it was kind of important to me to be like, oh man, I really want to look like I belong on stage, and I'm not just some bad outlier. I want to look like I could at least stand with my peers. It was very important to me. But at this show, I didn't have that pressure at all. It was kind of like, I'm going to stand among dinosaurs, and I want to see just how much I can compare to them. And surprisingly enough, I think I did all right on some of the poses. This was definitely, I think, the best shape that I've ever been in, the best look I've ever brought. And I'm an amateur bodybuilder doing this as a hobby, a hobbyist, as a novice. But still, you want to grade yourself and you want to prove. That's the fun of it. So this was the best package I ever brought, I think, and I peaked pretty much with this show. At 43 years old, I got into the best shape of my life, essentially, and I'm very happy with it. And here are some of the shots. I'll bring them up here. And so you can see on some of them here, like this one right here, where I'm doing these were the people I was up against. And I was actually up against the biggest guy in the entire show, which was this guy here. And he won the actual entire event. So he won the whole show completely, not only the division I was in, but the entire show. And on a shot like this, I'm not really, competitive with everybody here on all the muscle parts, but on some of them, like the chest here, it doesn't look too bad. Another one here, you can see the arms. I'm not really able to hang with them on the arms, but my abs are solid here. And of course, on this shot and the last one, my legs are just lacking because I can't really train them. But surprisingly enough, the one that I felt I looked the best on, and the one that I felt that I was most able to stand among the people with, was the most muscular, which we have here. I thought that worked, especially from the waist up. Not winning, but looking like I was able to stand on there, at least much more than I expected to be. So as I said, the big guy there, he won the entire show, and that was one of the things that I wanted to do with this show. I wanted to stand next to some giant monster and see how much I compared. And here we go at the when they gave the awards. I got third place, and I got to stand right next to him when they gave the medals. So that was really, really cool. There were only 3 people in my class. When we did the prejudging, they added someone else on there, but he wasn't to be judged among us. So all in all, I'm really, really happy about it. I have nothing but nice things to say about the NPC. And if anyone is on the fence, coming from the natural world or wanting to do a first show, one thing you don't have to be worried about is, at least from this show's experience, this was Mel Chansey's Champion Muscle. People not being supportive, people not, wanting to, encourage you to have a good time and to enjoy yourself and to try to bring out the best of your potential. I didn't see anyone looking down on me because I was smaller or because I was manifestly not taking any gear or anything like that. And I talked to a bunch of people backstage. It was just a really, really fun experience. Unfortunately, after they did the medals, I had to leave right away, which kind of stunk because I didn't get to see the end of the show. So I didn't know who won the show until I think just yesterday when the results came out, because I had a meeting an hour and a half away that I just could not reschedule. So it was either get the medal and go or don't do the show at all. So that was the other regret, I guess. So yeah, all in all, I'm very, very pleased with it. What I said after the last show, that I thought I could go further, I think I definitely did. And yeah, so those are my takeaways. If you like this type of content, go ahead and hit that channel subscribe button, and don't forget to like the video.